trying to look tough. And in poker, there's a saying that weakness is strength and strength is weakness. So if somebody's trying to look aggressive, they're almost certainly trying to make you not bet. They don't want you to call because they're bluffing. Whereas if somebody sneaks into the hand and goes, oh, well, I might as well call, I'm a little bit reluctant and you can probably bully me off this one, that's when you've got to watch out because they're probably going to snap the claws on you and you'll be in trouble. Lastly, if the flop comes down and somebody looks at their chips just sideways, it's almost unconscious, they almost can't help it, that means they're considering a bet. They like the flop, they're looking at their chip stack, they're wondering how many they're going to put in the middle. Conversely, if somebody sees the flop and doesn't look at their chips, you can be fairly sure they've missed it.
Brilliant, that all makes total sense, thank you. Let's look at an example from the British Poker Open 2006.
Just the blinds in action now. Koresh calling from the small blind and a minimum raise from George Fraser with the 7-6.
It seems you got a big one every hand, George.
If you're going to get cute with a 7-6 pre-flop, you want to make a bigger raise, try and get people out. You don't really want to see a flop. Well, that said, he has made trip sevens on the flop, so that's a perfect result for George. Koresh checks it, and George checks it. That's the right move. Now George has got a full house. Koresh is going to bet out. Well, George should call Koresh's 6,000 bet. He definitely shouldn't raise it. He wants to see another card, try and let Koresh have enough rope to hang himself.
Raise.
But here you can see the fingers trembling, and he's made a raise. Now this is just too much information for Koresh to call.
Shaking quite a lot, George.
I'm an old man.
But that's why you don't have anything to lose.
I'm always shaking.
George saying he's shaking because he's an old man, but Koresh has been in too many card rooms not to see the writing on the wall. He knows his 10-queen is no good now. And George really didn't maximise his opportunity there. In poker, you want to minimise your losses and maximise your winnings. And when you get a full house, you really want to be milking the cow for as much as you can get. Cards again folded round to the blinds, where Ian Hope has picked up a suited big slick, bumps it up to 600. Trying to get rid of the blind here, or at least make it a difficult decision to call. Ace-king is pretty, but it's only ace-high, so you don't really want to run into a pair. Adamson makes the call with 6-4 off-suit. Well, he'll obviously need to hit the flop. He's made a gut shot straight draw, but...
Thousand.
But remember, there are only 4 5s in the deck, and it is going to be very hard for him to call that bet. He's basically got 2 choices here. He can fold or he can raise. But here's the beginner's mistake. He chooses just to call. He's now putting money into a pot, chasing a very, very thin draw.
Queen. Check or bet?
That's actually a very good card for a bluff, because if he does put Ian Hope on a big ace, those paired queens will now look very, very strong. So he knows he can't win, really, unless he bets. Fold or go all in is really his move here. But once again, he's just counting out a call. And this is really just throwing money down the well. Sometimes in poker, it's much cheaper to bet. It may cost you more initially, but you get much more information. If he comes over the top there, he could get a fold. If he gets called, well, he knows it's not going to cost him any more money. As it is, the door's been left wide open. Ian Hope reads him correctly. Those calls look so weak. But Ian Hope, even though he's only got the queens with the ace-king, has pushed all in. And now Adamson, all he can do is wave goodbye to his money. And you can see from the look on his face that he knows he's been a bit of a fool. He's even shaking his head. Talk about having a tell. The guy's just shaking his head and staring at the heavens.
So experience really is vital at the poker table.
Yes, it's like anything, although poker is quite an easy game for a beginner to do well at. As long as you've got the right instincts, the experience you can pick up in a matter of months, and we've seen relative beginners actually win the World Series of Poker main event, so it's not like, you know, snooker or cricket where you probably have to spend 10 years as an apprentice before you get anywhere. Within poker, within about 6-7 months, you can be a very, very good player.
Fantastic. Well, join us after the break. We'll be taking you through the art of bluffing at the poker table.